Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be a major game changer for the Giants and the entire NFC East. Rumors are swirling from Detroit that the Lions, currently sitting at 9-4 and in the thick of the playoff hunt, are considering a bold move that could send shockwaves through the league. And the player at the center of it all. Penei Sewell, the Lions' star offensive tackle. That's right. There's talk of Detroit potentially trading Sewell to the Giants, and if this happens, it could be one of the most significant moves of the offseason, especially for the Giants, offensive line, and their Super Bowl aspirations. Now, why would Detroit consider such a move? Well, the Lions are facing some pretty pressing issues on their roster, despite their solid record. Their defense, for example, has been giving up an average of 24 points per game in 2025, which is not what you want from a playoff contender. Their secondary has been battered, with 3 concussions and other injuries, and their overall ranking on defense sits around 18th DVOA. On top of that, Detroit's cap situation is tight. They're sitting with around $20 million in cap space, but they're also trying to rebuild their roster, especially their defensive line and secondary. Plus, their odds of winning the Super Bowl are around plus 850. So they're definitely in a rebuild mode, trying to strengthen their roster for a deep playoff run next year. And here's where Sewell comes into play. The Lions are looking to free up some cap space, about $23 million, by trading Sewell, who at just 25 years old is already one of the best in the league. His profile is incredible. In 2025, Sewell has a PFF overall grade of 96, which leads all offensive tackles. His pass blocking grade is 94, ranking 3rd in the league, and his run blocking is an astonishing 98, the best in the league. He's allowed only 1 sack this season and just 5 hits on the quarterback, which is practically unheard of for a player his age. Over his career, Sewell has played 90 games and maintained a PFF grade of 94, placing him among the elite offensive linemen in the league. His EPA per run is plus 0.16, which is considered elite, and he's accumulated over 150 pancakes, demonstrating his dominance in the trenches. And get this, he has 0 injuries in 2025, playing 100% of the snaps. Standing 65 and weighing 335 pounds, Sewell has even been compared favorably to Trent Williams, with a plus 9% win rate, according to PFF. His stats include an 88% assignment win rate, just 7 penalties, and he's generated around 920 yards after contact on runs. Notably, in Week 11 against the Packers, Sewell allowed 0 pressures, a true testament to his elite technique and consistency. So what would this mean for the Giants? Well, currently the Giants are struggling. Their offensive line ranks 30th in the league with a PFF grade of just 60, which has contributed to a sky-high sack total of 45. This has been a major issue for Daniel Jones and the offense overall, especially considering the injuries they've faced. As you do with a concussion, Van Roten out with an ankle injury. Bringing Sewell into this mix would be like adding an anchor, the kind of stabilizing force that could transform the entire offense. With Sewell, sacks could drop from 45 to around 25, and the offense could see an extra 180 yards per game, giving Daniel Jones much-needed protection and time to make plays. And let's not forget about the run game. With Singletary thriving, an upgraded offensive line led by Sewell could boost EPA on the ground by more than 20%. This would open up more opportunities for the Giants to control the clock and keep defenses honest. Daniel Dart, the young QB, would have more time in the pocket, and that 3rd down conversion rate would jump from around 32% to nearly 50%, making the Giants' offense much more efficient. In terms of overall impact, Sewell's addition would turn the Giants' offensive line from a liability into a true strength, a cornerstone for sustained success. Historical data supports this too. Sewell's presence has previously added around plus 210 yards of offensive production in 2024, and with his elite run-blocking ability, the Giants could be looking at a complete offensive upgrade. Now, looking ahead to the playoffs, this move could be even more impactful. Sewell's PFF grade of 98, 4 in the postseason last year, especially his plus 26% run efficiency, shows that he elevates his game when it matters most. The Giants, with their current odds of plus 15, 0 to win the Super Bowl, could see those odds shrink dramatically, possibly to plus 500, if they manage to land a player of Sewell's caliber. That kind of upgrade in the trenches might be the X factor that puts the Giants over the top, especially considering how crucial offensive line play is in the playoffs. The Lions, on the other hand, are clearly feeling the pressure. They're in a bit of a rebuild mode, especially on defense, and with their cap situation, moving Sewell makes sense. The trade would likely involve multiple draft picks and perhaps a defensive tackle to balance out the deal. Detroit's management is reportedly cautious about their offensive line with Goff under center, especially with his 22 touchdown passes, but also some inconsistency. The trade could be motivated by desperation, injury concerns, and a strategic shift towards bolstering the trenches, something the Giants have been focusing on for years. For the Giants, this potential trade isn't just about improving one season, it's about laying a foundation for a long-term contender. Sewell would be a pillar, an anchor in the offensive line for years to come. It's rare to find a player at his age with such a high ceiling and proven elite performance. If the Giants manage to pull this off, it could set off a chain reaction, improving their offense, boosting their confidence, and finally giving Daniel Jones the protection he needs to truly unlock his potential. The offensive line would no longer be a weak spot, and that could change everything, from the way they attack in the run game to how confidently Daniel Jones can throw downfield. Looking at the bigger picture, this move would also send a message across the league. The Giants are serious about contending, and they're willing to make bold moves to achieve that. Sewell's addition might not just be a short-term fix, but a long-term investment into building a dominant offensive line that can sustain success for years. It's reminiscent of some past big trades, but what makes this one stand out is Sewell's combination of youth, elite production, and versatility. He can handle multiple roles inside and out. Plus, the Giants' front office has shown a willingness to be aggressive in the past, and this move would be in line with their strategic outlook. Of course, nothing is certain yet. The Lions are still weighing their options, and there are questions about whether they'll be willing to part with a franchise-level talent like Sewell. But if they do, the Giants should be all in. The potential upgrade in their offensive line could be the missing piece that takes them from a decent team to a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And as we all know, the NFC East is a division that loves to surprise. The Eagles are strong, the Cowboys always competitive, but the Giants making this kind of statement could shift the balance of power dramatically. So fans, keep your eyes peeled. This is the kind of move that could redefine the Giants' future. The possibility of Sewell donning the Giants, blue and red, isn't just a pipe dream anymore. It's a real scenario that could become reality in the coming weeks. Imagine a line anchored by Sewell, protecting Daniel Jones, opening lanes for Saquon Barkley or Singletary, and giving the offense the stability it desperately needs. It's the kind of upgrade that could change a franchise's trajectory, and if it happens, you can bet the entire Giants fanbase will be celebrating a new chapter of dominance. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Sewell would be the perfect piece to anchor our offensive line and push us closer to a Super Bowl? Or do you think the Lions might hold on to him, betting on their rebuild? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the Giants. Remember, I'll be back very soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Giants news. We're on the brink of what could be a transformative offseason, and your passion keeps this community thriving. So let's keep the conversation going and keep dreaming of that next Super Bowl parade. Go Giants!